Hello, my name is Lisa, and I'm an aspiring author who doesn't know what she's doing. So I guess come along for the ride. Disclaimer, I pulled a lot of inspiration from other creators when designing my own bullet journal. I've linked those videos below, so please check them out. I'm really excited to go over my bullet journal for NaNoWriMo. I already created the spread, so this will be more of a walkthrough of what it looks like. Keep in mind, I've never actually written a book before, so this might be missing some sections or have some duplicate sections. This is a gorgeous Archer and Olive bullet journal from the Haunted Hollow box. I love how the foil looks and the little star accents that go all the way around and on the inside cover. I'm not sure if this will be available when you're viewing this video, but I would suggest you check out Archer and Olive if you're interested. I buy the A5 dot grid journal, and that's what this example is, but I have been thinking about branching out into other size journals in the future. Please don't get upset with me, but I don't actually add my name to the belong section. I actually just don't add anything there. It's just too much pressure, so I just skip it altogether for all of my books. This is my handy info spread. I have my Scrivener serial number here from when I thought I would be using Scrivener to house my project, and a place to list wherever I back up the draft. So this could be like a USB computer file or something similar. The second part of this page is my stationery key, where I like to list all of the tools that I used in the notebook. And the stickers that decorate this page is actually from the Haunted Hollow box, and some of them are glow in the dark, which is pretty cool. For this section, we have a place to add the page number or numbers, the title of the section, and add a check mark on which stage I'm in within that topic. So S means that I started working on it, D1 means that I completed the first draft of it. The following pages all look the same or will look the same for the index spread. Next, I have a 6-page spread for the locations that are used in the novel. I left this blank in case I wanted to add a sketch of what I'm envisioning a location to look like, or wanted to add some more free-form notes. My character spread functions very similarly to the location spread. I keep it blank to allow me to capture whatever information I need without being tied to a specific setup. However, for this spread, I set up 8 pages just because I expect to have more information here. This section might be a bit unorthodox, but I created a smaller 4-page spread to capture any important family relationships. I feel like this can be helpful in fantasy stories to track lineage. I'm really excited to see if and how I end up using this as I work through my draft. So the dictionary is a 6-page spread, which I'm going to be using to house world-specific words, their meanings, and their definitions. Another way that you could use the dictionary is to house different words that you really like or want to incorporate in your story. After that, I have my first draft phase. After I complete the first draft, I plan to add a second draft phase into this book, and so on and so forth. On the right-hand side, I have my progress tracker. This is to help me visualize how much I'm writing per session and how long it takes me to write that amount. So for the words written on the top, it'll be reflected with a bar, and for the minutes written at the bottom, it'll be represented with a dot. This is my NaNoWriMo spread. On the left, I have the date of the month. Then I have my goal, which is 1,667 words per day until the last day. An actual column where I add how much I actually wrote that day. I also have a total column for the total length that my draft is, and the last column that shows how long my draft should be as of that date. On the other side, I have a graph to represent how close I am to the target completed words in a visual way, and that line that you see is the target line going up to 50,000 words. In the next spread, I'm tracking my scenes, so you can see scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, and so forth. Once I complete the first draft of the scene, I will color that square in, and the same logic applies for my chapter progress spread. So when I complete chapter 1, I would color in the left half of that triangle, and I would go down to chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, and so forth until I hit chapter 11. And then once I start chapter 12, it'll go to the right hand side of chapter 1, and once that's completed, I'll color in the right hand side of that triangle. I did intentionally leave the right side of this page open just in case I was going to write more than 22 chapters and I wanted to have the option to add those in as I worked on the story. My session metadata is a 12-page spread where I track all of my data, including my qualitative data, so I can analyze when and where I work the most efficiently. I track the date of the week, so like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, etc. Then I track the actual date, the time I started and ended writing, which scenes I completed, and the tasks I completed, and any other relevant information would also be added under the tasks section. And lastly, my chapter breakdown. So for chapter 1, we have tasks. This is where I will add whatever I have to do for that chapter, or if there are any specific moments or scenes that I have to cover. Notes is for chapter-specific information that I need to know and will likely not intuitively know if I were to revisit it in other drafts. Like maybe I have to look up how a certain technology works to make sure I'm representing it correctly. It would be added to this note section. The next section is to help me keep going and find it easier to pick up writing again. I have the date, the scene or moment that I stopped at, and what is supposed to happen next in the story. This way I'm never starting with a blank page. The last section here is the notes for next draft, which is exactly what it sounds like. I will add any notes there that would normally send me down a rabbit hole with research or tinkering. Instead, I will add a placeholder in my draft and add what I need to figure out later into this section. The setup for each chapter will be the same, and this will continue until the end of the first draft phase in this bullet journal. But yeah, that's my bullet journal, and I'm really excited to see in the comments about what you think, if you have any feedback, and if you're comfortable, I'd love to see what your journal setups look like. But that's everything I have. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.